What up, everybody? Welcome back to Stardew Valley. Yeah, we don't need this machine anymore, so let me go and take care of that real quick. So it's been a few days since I beat that game up there, and I'm a little bit more relaxed than I was when I was trying to beat that game up there. And I actually got to play Stardew Valley for what I like playing it for. Once I finally got the achievements unlocked, I could actually play the game and enjoy it again. So hey, that's great. But anyway, yeah, I was just walking around and I was just talking to the regular people and in the game and everything, and I was just thinking to myself, what people can you marry? Like, what spouses that you can choose? If it wasn't for you, who do you think would be like compatible with each other, right? And I'm just going around, I'm just trying to think, like, okay, well, Leah might be compatible with Elliot, maybe, because she's kind of creative, she's doing some woodwork, whatever, he's doing his little book thing, and they both kind of live on the outskirts of town. I was like, hey, you know what, that might work. You know, he's a little bit over dramatic, but I'd have to imagine they're both pretty creative in different ways, of course. They both have very big dreams, I guess. His novel, I mean, hopefully, you know, his novel does pretty good, and her statues, I don't know what you guys decided to do with Leah, but there's a point in the game where she asks what she should do with her statues, and you can say either sell them online or take them to town square and sell them that way. I've went both ways, and I think that selling them online is probably a better way for her to make a little bit of money. So, you know, I think with their combined funds, I think they would be all right, and I think that their personalities, they might do okay. And then I got to thinking, well, what happens if it's years later and they actually have like a kid or something? What does that kid look like? You know, I'm kind of curious to trying to put that together. So I did some drawing. I'm not very good at pixel art. I mean, I tried, and I came up with a name for their kid. And yeah, I know this is like kind of really corny and I don't know, just really offbeat and just kind of strange that I would actually do this. But yeah, I came up with a name and I just put their names together. And I came up with Alea. And I made them have a daughter. I don't know. I guess you can go take a look at the daughter. I don't have any backstories or anything, but I figured, well, hell, you know, I was late at night and I was just thinking, sometimes, you know, you don't sleep very well and your mind just goes to random stuff. That was one of the things that I was thinking of. So here's a picture that I put together with this kid. So don't judge me too much, but here it is. Now, of course, with these pictures and everything, they're just rough drafts, but I figured, you know what, I got a feeling their kid would probably look kind of like that. And then after that, well, my brain just decided, hey, you know what? What if I did this with everybody? Who should be together? What would their kids look like? So I started figuring out what everyone would have, and I'm gonna share that with you. I mean, it took all day to draw all these little things. It's a new program that I use to draw these things. Bear with me. This is something I don't really share too much with. Is my art? 'Cause I mean, I'm not that great, but I'm willing to share some of it with everybody tonight. So yeah, here we go. Next couple I'm thinking of is Alex and Haley. Yeah, typical. The jock kind of guy versus the cheerleader girl. Put them together. Yeah, I know she also does photography when you get to know her better, but she's kind of a real bitch when you first meet her. And you know, who the hell meets someone and says, ew, I don't like the way you look. Like, your clothes are disgusting. Like, that bothered me and was actually really off-putting. In all seriousness, who the heck does that? That was rude. But I'm sure if she saw him for the first time, she'd be like, oh yeah, this guy looks attractive. But anyway, I figured, yeah. If I wasn't around as the farmer, they'd probably get along and they'd probably have a pretty strong-looking kid. And I decided to make a kid, and I gave him a stupid name, too. And his name is going to be Hallex, Hallex, Hallex. And this is what I came up with. I figured he's probably going to be one of the bigger guys. He's probably going to look a little bit more mature because Alex himself looks a little bit more mature. And I figured, well, I mean, It's a small town for the most part, so he's going to need to find a job. Maybe he'll actually become an apprentice to Clint. And maybe he'll help Clint with his woman problem. Who the hell knows? Emily would be his aunt after all. And yeah, I know this is very cringe, and I know that it's definitely not something that I normally do, but you probably clicked on this video specifically because it's just cringy as hell. I don't know. But that's the character that I came up with, and I guess the next one that I'm going to show is, I was thinking, okay, Maru is a pretty intelligent young woman, and Harvey seems like a pretty intelligent guy. I think Harvey would actually be able to get in between Robin and Demetrius and actually explain to Demetrius some of the stuff that Robin's saying, and maybe explain to Robin some of the stuff that Demetrius is trying to say, be kind of like a middleman. I don't really know. Figured, well, you know, they're both pretty intelligent, and I mean, shoot, they work together, so why the hell not, right? So this is what I come up with. And his name's gonna be Haru. Yep, it's Haru. But here's what I actually came up with. This was actually the first pixel art that I attempted to do with these two. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to start with this character, and all the colors that are on him I actually got from both of them by just sampling the colors that they both have. I think for a first attempt I did pretty good. The more I look at him, the more proud I am of him, and I actually spent a little more time on this one, so hopefully he came out alright. If I had to give him a personality today, I would say he's probably pretty smart. And maybe he does have a little bit of creativity like his grandma Robin. But yeah, I mean, his mom also made robots, so yeah, I think he would be alright. And I guess we'll move on to the next one. And this one, well, not as happy as I am. I just couldn't get this one right, and it is the first draft, so hopefully, well, if this video does pretty good, and yeah, it might. Maybe I'll come back and I'll rehash the characters that I created and make like a second version of them. But the ones that I started with that I thought might be okay is Shane and Abigail. And I think that they would work because after Shane cleans up, you know, he's a pretty decent dude. I mean, he stops drinking as much, so on and so forth, and he makes blue chicken, so yeah. And Abigail, you know, she's adventurous and all that stuff, so I figured, I don't know, maybe they'd hit it up after he like cleans up, and this is the character that I came up with for their kid. And this one's name is Ghislaine. If you can't tell by how she looks, I made her kind of like rebellious and that type of deal. I figured that she probably would be, but you know, she's not my favorite, so we're just gonna move on. I think she's one that I still need to work on. The next one is a bit of an odd couple. It's Penny and Sebastian. Hear me out on this one, okay? Penny is a sweet girl, and Penny's a hard worker, and same with Sebastian. He's a good dude. He's a hard worker. They really need someone they can rely on, and I think those two will be able to rely on each other pretty well, so that's why I put them together. And I think they're going to have a girl, and her name's going to be Sebi or Sebony, and I think this is what she's going to look like. Not sure what her personality is going to be yet, but I think that works. Alright, we're going to move on to the next ones. They're going to be Sam and Emily, and they're going to have a guy, little boy, and they're going to call him Smiley. Well, Rook, why Smiley? Well, it's Sam and Emily put together, and I mean, just look at them. And there's him. I figured, yeah, he's going to have his mom's personality, or kind of like a bubblegum, kind of like hippie-go-lucky, whatever personality, and I know his name is not spelled the same way as Smiley, but hey, they're hippies, so what do you expect? They're going to make their own spelling for stuff. Probably have a little bit of like immatureness like his dad, and he looks like he's going to be like a really nice dude regardless, and I think that's probably what he's going to look like, and yeah. So, these are the characters that I made. For a rough version of the characters, I think they came out alright. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Anyway, with that said and done, thanks for stopping in again. I always appreciate it. Hopefully you all have a good evening, morning, or afternoon, whatever it is, where you're at. And I'll catch you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye for now.